overworld was on the computers, and I was like, "Hey, Rich, can I click?"
All right, we're back again with Illuvium Rundown Episode 2. Our first episode was pretty successful about 2 weeks ago. Glad to have us back here doing this again. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Episode 2. I'm excited. I got my Illuvium shirt on today. Just picked this up last week, so I'm going to be trying to wear some Illuvium stuff on the stream now. I know you're jealous.
Awesome. Yeah, hopefully by next episode I have my my Bulldogs jersey.
Oh, there you go. That's going to be sick.
But yeah, just quickly, so you might be catching this on a podcast and not seeing the video. So quickly, I'm going to go through what our rundown is today. We're going to be talking about interoperability. I know that's a tough word to say here. We're going to be talking about Private Beta 2 at the Aussie CryptoCon that happened a couple weekends ago. We're going to get on a quick call with Oscar Matt, who attended that event, and we're going to get his take on what he thought about it. We're going to talk about onboarding into Illuvium, especially those non-crypto gamers. We'll be talking about ILV on Coinbase, the August dev blog that was just put out this morning, and we'll get into our leaks of the week. Ready to go?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, so interoperability, or what I guess Kieran coined this phrase, interoperable blockchain game. So that's what Illuvium is. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so IBG, this is a brand new term, like you're saying. It's super cool for someone from Illuvium to come up with this, and I think it really speaks to exactly what Illuvium is. It is an interoperable blockchain game, and I know that's a mouthful, but that's what it is. So when you're building on the blockchain, really the number one thing you want is for your game to work and flow across all different kinds of instances. I mean, so with Illuvium, you got the auto battler, you got Illuvium Zero, you got the overworld. So having all those three work together nicely is exactly what you want, and that's what Illuvium's building. Obviously, they have plans for more after that. It's going to be, it's just going to be an experience. You're going to get immersed in the world, really immersed in the world in a way that's never been done before, and that's something you can't really say about any other product.
Yeah, I think about Pokemon all the time, because obviously you can compare Pokemon. We still got this banner back here, this rug for Pokemon. But I think about all the different games that Pokemon came out with. You got Pokemon Go, you have their main games, Pokemon Duel I used to play all the time.
Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Snap. Imagine if you could just take whatever Pokemon you caught and bring it to one of those other games. And that's what Illuvium is doing.
Yep.
It really is crazy. And I think the name interoperable blockchain games, I think that's no one's really going to say that. They're going to say instead of RPG or MMORPG, they're going to say IBG. This is an IBG game and everyone's going to understand what it is.
Yeah, when you're on the forefront of innovation, it's tough to think about how big of a deal this is, but they really did create a new genre, a new space in gaming, and obviously not everything's out yet. It's really tough to see that future, but for guys like us who are we're here every day, we're seeing them build, we can really see where this is headed, and it's really exciting. Just to piggyback off the Pokemon, I also think about Super Mario Brothers, and you think about all the different games that they have, and all Super Smash Brothers, and all that kind of stuff, Mario Kart, they're going to be bringing that kind of stuff with an Illuvium twist, and that's going to be so cool to see over the years.
Yeah, and I know in the blockchain gaming or GameFi space, there are some other games that claim to be interoperable with other games, but if you hear Kieran talk, he explains why we are so far away from that being a reality. In the actual interoperability for crypto games in the next 5 years are within its own ecosystem. So the fact that Illuvium is building out that ecosystem and not having wishful thinking that they're going to work with other games, it says a lot about what they're doing and that they're going to be here for the next 10 to 15 years. I think Aaron has said he has 9 total games in the back of his head that we're looking at. So I'm thinking, in the next 10 years, I think we'll have 9 different games to play. And I think we'll have a game for every different type of gamer.
And they're all going to be AAA. And Aaron is a mastermind. I know he's going to come up with some really cool stuff. It's just like we are at the forefront of innovation here. That like some things, who knows? Some things might not work. Some things will work really well. We're all learning, but we're all going to have a lot of fun while we're doing it. And there's going to be some really, really good games to play. So that's where we're headed. IBG, it's here to stay.
It is. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Moving on to topic number 2. So the Aussie Crypto Conference. This kicked off, what was it, 2 weeks ago now, or a week ago?
Week and a half, yeah.
Yeah, so they debuted Private Beta 2. Just a really, really cool thing that they had going on. Kieran also spoke. They had this great booth with all these games set up, and people came and were able to actually play in person, which was really cool. But Nick, what do you think about it?
Yeah, so we did learn that Private Beta 2 is coming in 2 waves, basically. The first Private Beta 2 that we're going to get is just the update to Survival Mode. They are calling the Overworld Private Beta also Private Beta 2, is what I've seen, but they're coming in 2 waves. So this first Private Beta was at the Aussie CryptoCon, and we had a lot of people from the community were able to play it. I guess not a lot of people. A few people from the community were able to play it. And as you can see in the rundown, we're actually about to get on a call with Oscar Matt, and he's going to tell us more about it. But I just have some notes here. If you haven't heard about the changes, here's what we're looking at for the Private Beta 2. We're going to have checkpoints. Checkpoints are good because I know, especially for me, playing the Private Beta 1, if you go to round 15, 16, 17... it might take you 10 to 15 minutes. You finish it, and you really don't want to start back over it and go through the first 10 waves that you know you can beat easily. So having those checkpoints is going to be great to just go back to that checkpoint and then continue from there to see what you can do.
Yeah, checkpoints is going to be huge. Like, I've played a lot of PB1. It is very frustrating going through like the first 6-7 waves over and over just to get to that next phase. So adding that is just huge for the game.
Yeah. All right, so we're also going to have Augments and Bonding. These are going to be able to make your alluvial stronger if you have a weaker one. Bonding is going to help with your synergies. So you're kind of limited to a couple of composite synergies. So bonding will give you those extra synergies to add on. We have an update to the leaderboards. We're going to have I don't have the number here, over 100 new alluvials in the game, which is quadrupling what we already have.
Yep.
Let's see, we have an interest system, gaining bonus mastery points. So that's something I'm not even too familiar with, so we'll have to find out what that does.
Yeah, so that's essentially, so like, as you go through PB1 right now, you have mastery points that you can use.
Yep.
But in PB2, they're adding a new wrinkle to it where if you don't use some of the mastery points, you're going to get a certain percentage added on to, let's say, attack. So let's say you leave 10 mastery points behind, maybe you'll get 10% additional attack, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's how they're thinking about it. I don't know the specifics on that. I just threw out an example.
Yeah.
But it's going to help your team compete, from wave to wave.
Yep. Well, when we learn more about that, we'll definitely be throwing it in a rundown. I'll probably make some videos myself about it. All right, so then we have some upgrades to the UI, some sound effects, some visual effects. One thing that Aaron made clear is that this Private Beta 2, they weren't focused on balancing. So there will be stronger alluvials, there will be stronger augments. It's really about understanding how the system works, and the balancing of the alluvials and the items will come later down the line.
Yeah, and it was great that the community got to play this at CryptoCon. I know I saw on Twitter that there was a kid probably 10 years old that played it, and he just like manned the booth for like 4 or 5 hours straight, just like crushing PB2, which made me very jealous, but also at the same time, like that was his like Pokemon moment. As like, we grew up 1998. You play Pokemon for the first time. He got to have that experience at Aussie CryptoCon, so that's pretty cool.
That is crazy
to see that kind of thing, and like the game's gonna grow, and this kid's gonna tell his friends about this game, and that's what we want. So that's
think about like some of us, we collected those Pokemon cards. We could say 20 years ago, I had that first generation Charizard.
Yep.
This 10-year-old, when he's 30, is gonna say, I was around for that first generation Illuvium. I got that Ramfire right away, and then he's gonna have a lot of jealous friends.
Well, not only that, but he's just gonna pull out his crypto wallet and be like, "Dude, look at this Ramfire."
Yeah, right.
And where our Pokemon cards are collecting dust in the attic, he's got his crypto wallet. Yeah. So that's the future.
He'll be selling that Ramfire for a down payment on a house.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get into a call with Oscar Matt now.
Hey guys, how are we?
Good. How are you?
Really good.
Good. Thanks for taking our call. I mean, as you know, we're doing this Illuvium rundown. This is only episode 2, so you're our second guest here. Not last week and the weekend before was the Aussie CryptoCon. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Aussie CryptoCon. It was the weekend, just gone.
Really, I want to know, what was it like meeting other members of the community and just being surrounded by everybody who's bullish on Illuvium?
So that was pretty much a highlight. Hey, what I wanted to do was just go up, meet as many as the team as I could. I talked to Andrew one-on-one. I talked to Chris, Dimitri, a few of the other guys that were just hovering around the site. Rich. I didn't really get to speak to Kieran because he was busy. He was talking to everyone else here and there, and he didn't come on the Sunday. And then meeting all the community was awesome. I got to meet heaps of the East Lizards community as well, and then heaps of the Illuvium people, because I pretty much just sat around the booth the whole time. I was sitting there with Scoriox and Vulcan, and heaps of people come up and like, "Oh, Scoriox, Vulcan." It was super weird to get recognised like that, but it was pretty cool.
Did you have a lot of fans out there? Were people coming up to you?
We were actually sitting in one of the theatres waiting for Andrew to speak, and I was sitting behind Scoriox, and I could see a guy over there kind of talking to his missus, pointing, and then he come across and introduced himself, and that was pretty cool. And then a few other people were the same. That's the best thing about editing. Just get rid of it.
Yeah,
Matt, I wanted to ask you too. So first off, as Americans, we're both super jealous of the Australian crew because you guys are you're in home base of Illuvium, which is just super cool. Yeah. So you know I saw when Kieran was giving his talk, you were hanging out with Scoriox there, and I saw that video and everything. But the other question I had for you, just PB2, how was it? We're just waiting to get our hands on this thing. I know you've played it. How was it?
It was really good. I only played, say, maybe 5 runs. It was pretty busy around the booth, which is amazing because there were so many new people going in and playing it. It would have been so hard to pick it up without not knowing anything. But I was helping people, other people were helping as well. But yeah, it was really good. It seems a lot more in depth. Obviously, you got the augments, which changes so much because you can make some alluvials that may not be as good into really good alluvials. But yeah, it's really good. It seems a lot more in depth, and I liked the checkpoints. There's different weapons every day, which makes it so much harder. You can't just pick that air shield that everyone does and put the highest armor on, which I think will change a lot for people. You're going to actually have to think about it and then choose a weapon that may give you more synergies as well, instead of just going air all the time. Bonding is really good. I rate that really highly. Just, again, you can get 3 or 4 granite, or what was it, 3 granite, instead of just only having the 2. Same with Inferno and Magma and all that stuff, which obviously adds a lot more complexity to the game. So I think this will have a lot more replayability compared to Private Beta 1 that most people have kind of stopped playing now.
Yeah, I was going to say, after the first few weeks, not going to lie, I haven't played Private Beta 1 too much. But yeah, I'm really excited for this Private Beta 2 to get into it. Probably even more excited for whenever the Overworld Private Beta comes, but I guess they're coming separately. They're not coming together anymore.
There was Overworld was on the computers, and I was like, "Hey, Rich, can I click?" And he's like, "Don't do that. I'll get rid of your Private Beta 1." It's like, "Oh, okay." And then at the end of Sunday, I was like, "Can I play now?" He's like, "Oh, it's all deleted now." I'm like, "Dang." But that would have been awesome. I'm pretty sure they were thinking about doing it, having it there, which I think that would have probably brought in a lot more people because it's probably more mainstream looks good enough, but I haven't watched his leaked video from over the night just yet. But yeah, I would have loved it if that was there, and I think that would have brought in a lot more people, because obviously the auto battle looks great, and we were stationed next to another game that was nowhere near as polished, so it made Illuvium look really good. But yeah, having the overworld, I think, would have brought in a lot more people. People would have walked past and gone, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah.
Like seeing someone run around in a full open world. But yeah, I asked Dick, and he said that it was a really good success. They got heaps of new people. Anyone that played it just looked at the graphics and was like, "Wow, this looks amazing."
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the game really speaks for itself, which is what they're going for. Yeah, I just had a quick question. You said you were hanging around the booth a lot. What was the percentage of people who knew about the game versus people who were just seeing it for the first time?
It's hard to gauge, because I was around, but I was talking to a lot of other people, just talking to people around the booth rather than just watching people play. The best thing that I reckon I seen was that you had kids, say about 10, all the way up to 60, 70-year-old women that were playing.
Oh, wow.
Age and gender did not matter to anyone who liked this game. If they sat down and they were a gamer and they looked at it, they pretty much loved it. It was amazing to see. A few times there was heaps of older ladies playing that I was like, wow, I've never seen many ladies that old play any games, to be honest. So one of my standouts for the whole weekend, seeing the disparity of people that actually played the game and liked the game.
Well, thank you for taking our call. If there's ever an Illuvicon coming up anytime soon, I hope to see you there.
100%. It seems like they want to do something, but I don't think they'll do it before the game releases. I think that's a bit silly, but hopefully it's in somewhere that's accessible for more than most. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to get there.
God, I will definitely be trying to get there. It will be hard to try and get away from the kids, but we'll see how we go. Maybe it's a group trip. Everyone comes.
Yeah, right. All right, have a good one. Thank you.
For that. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Matt. See ya.
See ya.
So moving on to onboarding. Everybody in this Illuvium community right now, especially going through this bear market, are pretty much people who understand crypto. So they know how to make their wallets. They know what they're doing. They know how to move coins around. But to get real mass adoption, we're going to have to, onboard non-crypto gamers. Right now, they're reluctant. They don't like the idea of NFTs. But, the onboarding process that Illuvium is talking about doing, I think could be the way to mainstream adoption. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I do agree. I think Kieran subbed it up really well at the Aussie conference. Basically, how they're going to be doing this is when you get on the Illuvium landing page, he described it as you have two pages. If you're a crypto investor, you're going to have the more crypto-friendly page. If you're just a gamer, you're going to just get a gaming page. You're not even going to see any hint of crypto, which I think is great, because when people see crypto and they're not from the crypto world, they're immediately thinking scam. And that's just not what we want. We want them to come to the site and think, this game looks awesome. So
yeah, I think Kieran or somebody called it a rug pull, but an opposite rug pull. They'll just start playing a game, not know it has anything to do with crypto or NFTs, and then they'll be told, hey, look, you've built up this account, and this is what your assets are worth.
Yeah, the way he was described, it was basically no crypto, no blockchain, none of that lingo is going to be involved. So you just jump into the overworld on day one, and you get to experience a beautiful AAA game. You start going out, catching alluvials. You don't even realize that they're going into a wallet. It's all going to be seamless for those people. And then they're going to be able to just be boom, all of a sudden a button appears. It's hey, you've been catching these alluvials. If you want to add them to the crypto wallet and just continue from here with setting up your crypto wallet, you can do that. So people are going to have a choice after they start playing the game, which is just a seamless process compared to a lot of what we see out there in crypto gaming.
Yeah. And I think back to, my past, 15, 20 years of just playing games. There's been a lot of new games that I've tried out. I've, texted some of my friends and I'm like, oh, download this game. Let's try to play together, or go buy a game on an Xbox or a Nintendo Switch or something like that. And it's actually pretty easy for them to get involved and to try it out. But over the past year and a half of being in this crypto GameFi space, every time I message a friend, hey, come check out this game, come play with me, they really don't want anything to do with it. I had a couple who got involved a little bit, but once they hear crypto and NFTs, they just, some of them just want to stay far away.
Yeah.
So it's much easier to get them involved in a game where crypto isn't at the forefront.
Yeah, I've had the same experience. A lot of my friends, I bring it up, their eyes gloss over. It's like the last thing they want to talk about. But the adoption's coming. I mean, like the internet 30 years ago, sending an email wasn't an easy process. Like it's just going to come with time. But they're thinking about it the right way. They're promoting the project the right way. The fact that they're going to have an avenue for both the crypto gamers and the regular gamers is huge. And Illuvium, just in general, they're seemingly doing everything right. And I've written that in articles before, and I truly believe that. And I've seen a lot of projects, and there's a lot of missteps that can happen. They understand what they're trying to do. They understand the audience that they're catering to, and it just takes it to another level.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in this GameFi space for over a year and a half now, and there's a reason why 90% of my focus is on Illuvium.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in crypto gaming and NFTs and GameFi, but I'm still choosing to put at least 90% of my effort, time, and money into Illuvium because they're just doing it better. Yep. They're doing it different, and I think they're doing it right.
Fully agree.
All right, so let's move on. So Coinbase, a week or two ago, recently announced that they're working on bringing the ILV coin to Coinbase, to their centralized exchange. Right now, in the U.S., I think we can only trade on either with a VPN on a centralized exchange or on a decentralized exchange. So I think Coinbase, and Coinbase being like one of the most legitimate exchanges out there, I think it's going to be really good for Illuvium. But what do you think? Does ILV getting on Coinbase make the project more legitimate?
I think at this point it's definitely a boost. I don't know if it makes it more legitimate. I think that Illuvium in itself just shows how legitimate it is, and like as things roll out more and more and there's more success with the project, I think we're going to see just how legitimate they are. But I think it was just a matter of time before it got on Coinbase. I think like there's some projects where if they get on Coinbase, you know, they have a small community, it might pump the price or something. But Illuvium's a little more established. They're a little bit past that point. They're on another level where it's great to have it on Coinbase. It's not, you know, completely necessary, but it was going to happen regardless, just based on the value that Illuvium has and the type of project that it is. So I'm definitely not surprised it's on Coinbase. I think it's great that it is. I have a Coinbase account. I think for people in America, Coinbase is a good service to use. So I think just the simple fact that it's going to allow more people to get involved with Illuvium a little bit easier, a little bit easier of an onboarding process, I think that's going to be good overall for it.
Yeah. And I know a coin getting added to Coinbase in a bull market versus a bear market is going to be quite different. I remember when AXS for Axie Infinity got added onto Coinbase, and you know the price skyrocketed for a few days at least. Illuvium could definitely use that help. The coin is down to around $55 at this point, but everybody in the community they're not worried about the price. I think most of us actually like to see the price low because we just get to buy more because we just believe so much in the coin and the project and what they're doing. So, yeah, I think, you know, ILV getting added to Coinbase is going to be great, especially when the markets turn around. New people are figuring out about Illuvium who aren't necessarily crypto savvy with wallets and using a decentralized exchange. So being able to just hop on Coinbase and buy the ILV coin, I think is going to be great.
Yeah, and I think you're right about that. I think people, it's in a weird way, people who are invested in ILV are almost rooting for the coin to go down so they can buy more, because we know this isn't going to last forever. And eventually, you know, you get the game out, you get the engine running, like the Rev Dis engine running, revenue distribution. once that starts, there's no going back. So like, there's no better time. Not financial advice at all, but there,
No.
in my opinion, I think both of us feel the same. There's just no better time to buy than now.
Yeah, I can't agree more with that. I've been stacking my bags. All right, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, so the next topic that we're going to be talking about is the August dev blog. So this just came out this morning, super exciting. Aaron does his monthly dev blogs. He was sick in July, so it's great to see him back and writing again. He always does a really thorough job with it, and really just like lets the community know exactly where we stand, exactly where we are in the process. And this time was no different. So yeah, what did you think about the dev blog this month?
I think it was good. It was very informative. It was long. I skimmed through it this morning. I actually shout out to TSG. He made a video probably within an hour of the blog coming out. So I watched his video while I was sitting at work today. There's a lot of stuff in it. One of the most important things was just more of like a timeline, not necessarily with dates, but one thing they did mention is that things are going to get rolling. I actually have a quote right here. Things will roll out quickly over the next few months. So it looks like we're finally going to start getting some things dropped. The order of which things are going to be dropped is going to be the Illuvium version 2. Then it's going to be the Survival Mode Private Beta 2. Then we're going to get the Illuvium 0 Alpha, which I know I'm very excited about. Then we're going to get the Private Beta 2 for the Overworld. And then finally, Illuvatars. So these are actually shifted around a little bit than what I would have thought. But this is straight from Aaron, so we can trust this timeline. A couple other key things that I found in there were about the Illuvidex. And there's going to be a trading page. So I think that's pretty cool. There's not much detail. But it sounds like you might be able to just trade Illuvials with other players and not involve Ethereum or a coin. You might just say, I want to trade my Ramfire for 2 of your Axodons. Again, this is not confirmed, but I think that would be pretty cool. That brings me more back to the Pokemon days with the Game Boy, hooking it up with the link cables and just trading a Pokemon.
Yeah, I think the convenience of that will be huge. And, like, if they make it that an easy process, you're going to see people wheeling and dealing all day. I read through the dev blog. I actually did an article on it on my website. And it's to see him lay out exactly what's coming and when the order of operations here is great. The Illuvidex version 2, that should be any day now, really, because PB2 is supposed to be dropping this weekend. So We're going to have 2 things checked off real quick here. Illuvium 0 Alpha, I know that they're in the finishing stages of that. They just have to make like a tutorial portion of that.
Yeah. In the blog, it just said for Illuvium 0, it just needs some polishing. It looks like they're ready to go with that. It's just a few things holding back, but that should be coming out soon. And then when for the Private Beta 2 Overworld, Aaron says it'll come with 2 of the regions. We're going to get the Sanctum Mesa and the Crimson Waste. And I would have been excited for the Private Beta to just come out with 1 of these regions, but 2, that's going to be great.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. I'm excited to go around Sanctum Mesa because I think, like, seeing all the different things you can do there, like storing items or fusing alluvials, that kind of thing is going to be really cool. I know with Illuvium 0, Grant actually showed a little bit of gameplay in the Illuvium showcase earlier today, so that was cool to see. He already has that downloaded on his cell phone, ready to go. So these things are like right around the corner, like pretty much any day now. And then like the Overworld, that's going to take some time. I know Kieran has said he wants to try to have that out by Christmas. That would be really cool. And then Illuvatars, I mean, the community, we voted to have that delayed so they can make the album. So that's not surprising that's kind of at the end of the line here.
Yeah, and honestly, I want to see a little pump to the ILV coin before those Illuvatars come out because I want to get the best bang for my buck. But yeah, so that was the August dev blog. Again, I know TSG put out a great video, so if you want to get a full rundown, either go read the blog yourself or go check out the video he posted.
Yep.
All right, and we're gonna finish off like we finished off last week with a leak of the week. Let's see. Do you want to do your leak? Your leak first?
Leak of the week.
Yeah,
So,
leak of the week.
This is always my favorite segment. I love the leak of the week. So my choice this week was the game loop summary, and honestly, I didn't know this was a thing until today, and I just found out about it on the Illuvium showcase. And there's no better place to get your leak of the week than from this time it was 77 different leaks that we could have choose from. But the game loop summary essentially is just when you're done playing in the overworld, so you've captured a few alluvials, you've gone to the plants and got a few different items and that kind of thing, it's going to give you just a rundown of everything that you captured, everything that you gathered during that time, and it's going to just give you a score, and you can get a score compared to other people. So there's a little bit of competition there within the game. It's like a game within the game, which is pretty cool. And it's also going to help them just test the game, see how smooth it is, see like, okay, people are getting a lot of this item, so let's make it a little more rare, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be like, it's just a cool concept, and I think it just adds a wrinkle to the game.
Yeah. One thing I thought of when I saw it is it's just like, when you were a kid and it was Christmas and you went downstairs and you opened up all your gifts and you just put them all out on like the couch so they weren't hidden behind any paper. You could just look at everything and this is what you got. So I really like this leak too. It sums up what you got for that game loop, and then it's just exciting. I think that's just gonna give like a little extra thrill at the end of your travels.
It's cool. Like imagine you get like a huge catch, like you catch like a ramfire, and then like the back of your mind the rest of the time you're playing, like, man, I'm gonna be able to see this thing at the end of in this summary.
There's gonna be a lot of those screenshots on Twitter.
Yeah, and so like you play on Twitch and then boom, you catch the ramfire, people are watching, everyone's excited, and then at the end you get to show everything you have. And then like not only that, but like you can like take a screenshot of everything and then go to like the marketplace and see how much each thing is worth. Like that's pretty cool.
It is. It's awesome. So my leak of the week is this image with I forget which ape it is. Is it ape palm or is it monkey ear?
I think it's ape palm.
Okay, I'm not too sure there. But then it's with the ranger, the female ranger, and Mozart. And I don't know. I just saw this image and it looks like it's maybe from a cinematic trailer. I could be wrong there. It's definitely, there's some lore to it. This isn't something that's going to happen in-game when you're playing. You're not going to get knocked down and have an alluvial just staring at you. But it gets me excited about the lore. Because they always talk about how much depth it has, but that's the one thing that they're just not leaking at all. They don't want to tell anybody about the lore. They want us to start the game up and go through it ourselves. And at first I thought, maybe the overworld wasn't really for me and I wanted to just be competitive with the arena mode. But the more and more, I see and I hear about what this lore could bring, the more I want to experience that.
Yeah, and when I saw this, I immediately thought, it's beautiful and there's so much to it. So there's been like a lot of different theories about what exactly is going on in this picture. It seems to be an apom standing over an ombre with Arlen on the ground. Now, is the monkey helping Arlen? It looks like that's the case. Maybe it hit ombre, knocked it out to help Arlen escape from a tough situation. That seems to be the theme there. But it was funny because I saw on Twitter a couple different things about this picture, and this picture just came out this morning, so it's only been like less than 12 hours.
Yeah.
But I already saw Roger wasn't happy that it got leaked, which I thought was pretty funny.
I saw that too.
He made a comment. He's like, "How did this get out?" He's funny because he'll work on these things, and like for him that's not a finished product. For the rest of the world, it's beautiful. So.
Yeah.
But that's how he thinks about it. That's not complete yet, which is just kind of blows my mind and shows the level that he's at talent-wise. The other thing I saw was underneath that post, we saw a Vetamore comment. I already made it my like his Twitter background.
Oh yeah.
And
right.
so that was funny. Like, so you in the one hand you have Roger who thinks like it's not good enough, and on the other hand you have Vetamore, one of like the main people in the community, saying like this is amazing. I'm gonna make it my background. So it was cool to see both sides.
I mean, that's actually a good idea. That picture looks amazing. I might try to get that printed out. Maybe we can get it up here. Put it in the background.
We do need to get a change for that Pokemon blanket.
We do.
But
all right. Well, that is the end of the rundown. Again, this was our episode 2. We're going to look to be back in another 2 weeks from now. So go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Like it. Head on over to ramfire.io. Check out some of the articles that Ramfy over here is writing on more than a weekly basis. What are you doing? 2-3 a week?
Yeah, I try to do 3 a week if I can. And yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Episode 2. We have a lot of fun doing this. There's always so much to cover with Illuvium. They just really put out a lot of content. So it's just catching up over the last 2 weeks. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, definitely. And we're still working on getting this in a podcast format, but we will get that out hopefully by the time we get to our next episode. But that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yep. See you next time, guys.